Hello and welcome to the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. It is September 8th, 2024. This is episode 270. It always feels good every time I hit another 10 episodes. I don't know why that is, but it always feels awesome. This is stand-up comedian, actor, improviser, and dreamer Paul Green, sharing my thoughts on pursuing my dreams, your dreams, everybody's dreams. Yay, everybody has a dream. So, this episode, I am still in Los Angeles, California. I am currently doing a run at the world-famous Magic Castle in Hollywood, California. And no, I am not a magician, but I am a piano player, and I am currently accompanying a magic music comedy improv duo known as the Charlatans, and it has just been such a fun week. Last night, my cousin from Las Vegas and her husband came out to Los Angeles to attend the Magic Castle. It was a lifelong dream of my cousin's husband, and because I'm performing there, I can actually get people into the castle. And so that was just a super fun opportunity to be in a position to, help somebody just realize a lifelong dream of theirs, which was to attend the world-famous Magic Castle. So I've got one more night of shows, and then on Monday, I'm going to be driving down to San Diego, and I will be doing a stand-up comedy show down there. I will be featuring for the incredibly funny Melissa Greenberg at a venue that I've never performed at before down there in San Diego. So very much looking forward to that. And then I will be heading back home to Phoenix, but only for a couple of days. So I will be in Phoenix. I have a show Tuesday night, a show Thursday night, and then I will be hopping on a plane to Iowa. And then I have 3 gigs lined up in Iowa. So this has been a travel-heavy couple of weeks, but it's all very exciting and just very cool. And I'll say it constantly throughout this podcast. Whatever your dreams are, just start moving towards them however aggressively your current situation will allow, with whatever resources you have. Because there is just nothing cooler than going for something and starting to see it pan out and starting to see the fruits of those efforts and the energy and fortitude it takes to pursue something. So, with that, I am going to shift gears. So if you follow the podcast, you know that I have been commentating on a couple of books lately. One of them is The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, and the other one is The Magic of Thinking Big. And the author of that book is David J. Schwartz. I'm not going to lie, I didn't remember who the author was, so I actually had to pause the podcast to go look. And I think that's kind of a cardinal sin. I think anytime you reference a book, you're supposed to reference the author, right? I think I'm committing some sort of faux pas. But anyway, so The Magic of Big Thinking, which is a book so much more in alignment with how I choose to approach the world, significantly more in alignment than the 48 Laws of Power was and has been. But the good news is, this, my friends, is the last chapter of the 48 Laws of Power. I have commentated on all 48 laws, and we have come, though we've come to the end of the book. So, I am going to start by commentating on the last law of power from the 48 Laws of Power, give my thoughts on that, and then I'm going to shift gears, talk about the magic of big thinking, the next chapter in that book, and then we will call it a day because I have a gigantic, long day ahead of me. I I'm going to be picking up my mom and girlfriend from the airport at 9 in the morning. They're flying in from Phoenix. And then we're going to go see Hamilton in Hollywood at 1 p.m. And then I will be taking them to the Magic Castle. So I will be not only hosting them and escorting them through the Magic Castle, I also have potentially 3 performances at the Magic Castle tonight, which if all 3 shows end up going, I won't be done until 12:30 after midnight. So it is a long day. So I'm going to keep this one a little on the shorter side. But let's wrap up the 48 laws of power with the 48th law, which is assume formlessness. Now, this law, it's interesting because if you've listened to all my commentary on the 48 laws of power, I've been fairly critical of each of the laws. A lot of them I don't necessarily agree with is an effective way to live life. I shouldn't say the word effective. I would say a fulfilling and meaningful way to live life, just by pursuing power at all costs. But this law, I feel, is valid, and I don't actually have any sort of moral or ethical objections, as I have had to many of the other laws of power. And when I first heard the name of the chapter, Assume Formlessness, I immediately thought of this famous interview with Bruce Lee, where he says, "Be like water, my friends. When water is in a cup, it becomes the cup." Something like that. And ultimately, what they are talking about in this law is that there really is nothing too fixed in this world. In that really the key to any sort of success or even survival is the capacity to be adaptable and to adjust and to change form and to adjust with circumstances and adjust with climate and adjust with environment and adjust with circumstances and adjust with relationships and adjust with whatever it is that's going on. And that if one becomes too fixed or too set in their ways or too unwilling to adjust or adapt when necessary, then it has a high probability of leading to one's downfall or civilization's downfall or society's downfall or an organization's downfall. And I think there's some, I don't know about some, I think there's a tremendous amount of validity to this idea. And I mean, and I've already experienced that so many times, even in pursuing my dreams of comedy. It's like, you know, when I moved out to LA, I had no idea what to expect. And I just hoped that I would just go out there. I would somehow, you know, get a big audition. I would be the guy. I would get the big role. And then all of a sudden, I'm a famous TV or movie actor. And let me tell you something, that is not how it happened for me. What did happen is all kinds of ups and downs and, you know, adjustments in the industry, adjustments in myself, different experiences, different people, both positive and negative. The pandemic hit, which just completely wiped out so much progress that I had made as a stand-up comedian, so many things that got canceled because of that. And then I ended up moving back to Arizona, which I didn't anticipate doing. And through all of that, I learned that being adaptable is a very valuable skill set. And being willing to adjust to each situation and treat it as a unique situation, instead of maybe the trap we all fall into, which is trying to solve every problem with the same solution that maybe had worked once in the past, or demanding that whatever is happening adjust to us. And that would be nice, but in my experience, that just ain't how life works. And life is going to do what it's going to do. Societies are going to do what they're going to do. The weather's going to do what it's going to do. You know what I mean? If you're only prepared for a sunshiny day, one day you're going to walk out and it's going to be raining. And if you just look at the rain and say, no, you need to be sunny for me to be successful today because I cannot adapt to a rainy day. I do not have an umbrella. Chances are you're going to have a very wet, sad day. I don't really like that analogy. I think I probably could have come up with a better one on the fly, but I think you get the point. So, to the 48 laws of power, of which I have spent the last 48 days plus a couple analyzing each one of your laws. Thank you for existing and for giving me some things to think about. But I will hold to my opinion overall, which is that I do not think that this book is a good guide for life. If you want a life of meaning, fulfillment, and joy. If the only thing you want to do in life is assume power, whatever that means, power meaning the ability to control others, the ability to amass wealth, perhaps, gain influence in political regimes or in business regimes. Yeah, there's a lot of true laws if you are in essence amoral, because there is very little morality in this book. And, you know, again, if that's your aim in life and that's what you think is going to give your life meaning, by all means. But in my experience, in my opinion, and how I choose to live and believe, I think that there are more effective and better ways to accomplish maybe what you think power will provide for you, and doing so in a manner that will create more depth, more meaning, more long-lasting relationships, more sustainable relationships, more sustainable income, more sustainable safety. And that's what I choose to believe. And that's coming from a guy who even still has been betrayed and has been through very discouraging experiences and failed relationships and failed business ventures and failed attempts to achieve certain career milestones, and who has auditioned for countless TV, television, comedy festivals. I've submitted to so many bookers and have tried so many different social media avenues to try to get a social media following. And I just have a litany of failed attempts. And so I don't say any of this trying to paint some sort of sunshine and rainbows outlook on the world. I am very much aware that the world can be incredibly bleak, incredibly dark, incredibly predatory, and there is no shortage of misery to be had. But in my life, in my experience, I have found the best combatant for all of that negativity is not to then join the darkness and join the cynicism and seek a life of power at all costs, no matter who you victimize or how much destruction is in your wake. I have found the opposite to be true, that having the faith to build and to trust and to forgive and to extend grace to yourself and to others, and to seek to follow your dreams in the most non-evasive way possible. Now, trust me, if you're going for dreams, you're going to stir some stuff up. It's inevitable, but you're going to stir it up in a manner that is not predatory and is not manipulative. You're going to stir stuff up because you're coming from a place of genuine authenticity and genuine effort and genuine drive and hard work. And it is impossible for somebody, in my experience, who is being authentic and working hard to not have an influence and to not gain power, but to gain power in a manner that is far more fulfilling, not only for you, but for anybody who is influenced positively by your authenticity. So, assume formlessness, my friends. Be like water. And go out there and provide water to all of the thirsty human beings out there who are thirsty for authenticity. And probably shouldn't use the word thirsty, because I know that also has a connotation of being horny. I'm trying to be all deep and philosophical and meaningful here, and then I'm using an analogy which is like, there's all these horny people out there. You should go be water. I'm sorry. Anyway, I do mean that though, everybody. Go be authentic, go pursue your dreams, and do so with joy and with love in your heart and with gratitude for every day that you have and for everybody who comes along to support you on your path. And do so with a loving and joyful and grateful and gracious heart. And in my experience, when I have been in that mindset, I not only got my needs met, and I not only felt safe or had the safety that I feel people who are seeking power assume that power will provide for them. I've been able to have that safety through being vulnerable by being my authentic self, but with it has also come incredibly meaningful and deep friendships and deeper family relationships, and also just really cool experiences that I have been able to receive on this pursuit of my dreams. Like this weekend, getting to perform at the world-famous Magic Castle with two of the most talented magicians and actors that I have ever met. And I get to be a part of this incredible experience and witness firsthand audience after audience after audience laughing together and experiencing joy, experiencing art, experiencing comedy and music and magic and entertainment and performance. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right. Now, I know I said I was going to talk about the magic of thinking big, but I am genuinely exhausted, and I have such a long day tomorrow. And since this is the last chapter of the 48 Laws of Power, I think I'm going to end on that for today. And tomorrow, I will pick up with the magic of big thinking, or Thinking Big, by David Schwartz. And I will start to work my way through that book as I continue my podcast talking about going for your dreams. So That is all for today, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast for September 8th, 2024, episode 270. I hope you're all doing well. Your life is full of joy, love, and meaning. And I love you all so much. I will talk to you tomorrow.